Welcome back to our volume profile trade breakdown series, with the aim of the series being teaching you how to use the volume profile in action, how to practically apply it, and how to find good volume profile trading setups. Today's setup is from Friday. Now this one is a very interesting one. So this one's based on the New York Open after 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. And what we're using in this particular trade setup is not just the previous day's volume profile and not just the current session's developing volume profile, but something new that we haven't talked about yet, which is using the overnight session's profile as an extra level of confluence. Now, because I trade the overnight session, the Asian session myself, I normally don't get the chance to use the overnight profile, but if I was to trade the New York session, here is how you would incorporate it. For most of you guys are trading the New York session. So you can see the profile drawn here in green. That's our previous day's regular trading hours profile. Extended across gives us the previous day's value levels, right? We got value area high, point of control, value area low. That's all normal. But then see the overnight session, which is highlighted here in kind of a bluey gray color. We have a gray volume profile, which we put on, and that is our overnight session Globex volume profile. Now this volume profile, when you're looking to refer to the overnight levels on the next day, you want to start this profile from 6 p.m. Eastern time and draw that right across through to the 9:30 a.m. open. And that will then give you a value area high, a point of control, and a value area low from the overnight session, which you can then use in conjunction with the previous day's levels for trade setups. So right off the 9:30 a.m. open, very messy open on Friday there. Now this is not our trade setup we're going to examine, but notice how as price pulled off the open down to the value area low of the overnight session, it was bought back up to the value area high of the overnight session, it's sold down. So you can very well use that profile as well for trade setups. But of course, for the best, what we call A+ setups, we want to use at least 3 confluences to find a trading setup. So there is no more than, I'd say, 1 confluence trading this range, but those are fairly low risk trades you could take using that overnight profile. But again, I'd want to be targeting that previous day's point of control. So if you were to buy from the overnight session value low, I'd only be targeting the point of control. And if you were to sell from the overnight session value high, playing a range, you'd want to target the overnight session point of control and the previous day point of control as well. But that is not our setup, because we want to find 3 confluences to find an A+ trade. So what we have here is draw your attention to this area in price here. Now you can see that off the open of 9:30, once price decided what it was going to do, the bulls won the point of control here and ultimately held price at fair value of the previous day's session, causing price to rise. We broke through the previous day's value area high and broke above that point. Right, so there was no bearish confluences here to want to fade that. If we draw the current session's profile out to that point in time, there was nothing there to give us any sort of idea that we should short that value area high. Hence why we wouldn't look for a short trade as price approached that level. But what we are going to look at is once price broke value area high, we are looking for a potential support play to go long from this point. Now, the reason why this is such a good long play setup is because there are multiple confluences here that make this a high quality trade. So number one, first of all, is we have the value area high of the overnight session developing across this point in price here. So that's our first confluence. Number 2, we have the previous day's value area high across this point in price. So what we're piecing together here, that's 2 confluences so far. What we're piecing together here is that fair value was held from the overnight session. Fair value was almost the same price as the previous day's session, and the bulls were able to hold the price at fair value and shift away from fair value to the upside. So we can say that the market is bullish. We are going to be looking for long setups. Then, of course, seeing the bulls hold the fair value price and push above premium pricing at the value highs of both the overnight session and the previous day's value area, we can now confidently say that the bulls are going to be in control for at least the first part of the session. So that's our 2 confluences there we have so far in the context of what we're seeing on the profiles. Now, the third confluence you want to use is the developing profile. So if you're trading the New York session open, you're going to start your profile from 9:30, and you're going to have that profile extend. Let's change it back to the main session colors here. You're going to have this profile extend in time by clicking the extend right button and have that extend with you as price develops. Now, what we're looking for here is our third piece of confluence. So we have two confluences already with the value area highs overlapping and price coming through and above the value highs. Now, what we're waiting for here is we're waiting for the point in this developing profile for the value area high to come along and shift up towards these levels to act as a triple confluence of support here. So when price broke through the value area highs here, value area high of the developing profile was still further down. We're waiting for that to develop, and it's getting close here. It's overlapping with the current value area highs. And then boom, now we have the current session value high above the previous day value high and above the overnight value high. That's 3 levels of confluence here to support a long trade, an A+ long trade. So we got 1, 2, 3 levels of support. So now you can confidently buy and add to your position right across this range here from the current session value high, the previous day value high, and the overnight value high. That entire range there, as price draws into that, is where you can build your position. You can buy in on the first tap of the upper level and buy in as it adds down. But say you just bought in on that top level, at most you're facing 1.5 points of drawdown here. You'd want your stop loss to be past those value area high levels, so let's drag it down here, 4 points. And in terms of targeting in these situations can be tough because there's no opposing level. There's no opposing high volume node on the current profile to target. So what you can do in these instances is target local highs. So you could target the nearest swing high, which could be this point here. And then as price approaches that swing high, you either take profit or pull your stop loss to break even and trail your winners and follow that momentum. And that would have been your A+ setup on Friday using 3 different volume profiles. So that's something a bit new we haven't shared before on this channel about how to use that overnight profile in conjunction with the other profiles to find some A+ trades. So that's the last of the daily volume profile mini-series that we did this week. I hope you found it helpful and insightful. I will be posting more educational volume profile content on this channel moving forward. We're going to go in heavy on the education, so stay tuned for that. And if you want a bit more in-depth information, I do also have a volume profile course, our new community coming out very soon as well. But you can pick up that course linked in the description. But let me know if you found this helpful, like the video. And lastly, if you're on your funded journey, you can find the best discount codes for both Apex and Take Profit Trader, the 2 prop firms that I personally use, linked in the pinned comment below as well. But have a great weekend and I'll see you next week.